feel me? But I definitely got you through the ride, man. Let's get it, yo.
I'm really getting tired of ungrateful ass niggas.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we're back for another week. Welcome to It Is What It Is Radio. You know how I have to start the show. Moment of silence. This is King Porter Forever Friday. Moment of silence for my brother. Also, moment of silence for my Uncle Puddin'. And also JB.
And JT. Quite a bit. Moment of silence.
Moment of silence, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Today we have the honor of my uncle, Mr. Ronald Miles.
Yes, sir. Yes.
He is here today to educate us about Chick Webb and to tell us about the things that you have going on as far as your involvement. This is your brother right here.
Let me share.
Father, I'm on air.
Yeah. Let me share with you all today. Just
we on air. I'll call you back.
That we do not know about Black history heritage, but here in Baltimore we have an overwhelming amount of our African American heritage. As many of you may know already, or maybe if you're paying attention, they recently were tearing down the Cab Calloway home that's over on Druid Hill Avenue. But anyway, 2 years ago, I believe, I worked with the group called the Dunbar Coalition. Whereas the developers wanted to demolish the Chick Webb Memorial Recreation Center.
What?
Yes, they wanted to demolish it.
Whoa, I don't mean to interrupt you. Chick Webb is too pivotal in that community to demolish that type of rec center.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that because I'm a brother from West Baltimore that was took in by the East Baltimore Chick Webb family.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, after school, every day when me and my guys wanted to spot the hoop, I'm mad right now because he used to open that door for us every day.
Okay.
Every day, constantly. No hesitation.
Excellent.
Door open.
But that's why I'm here today. And you came from West Baltimore. And I would tell you right now, did you attend Dunbar?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's how you learned about Chick Webb.
Yes.
But the other part of that, hey, I'm a poet too, sir. But anyway, that's one of the chasms that we have now is because East doesn't know what's going on, West don't know what's going on in the East.
Yeah.
So, and again, going back historically, I'm going to give you the story of how Chick Webb was built, Chick Webb Memorial Recreation Center. I tell you, it was back in 1938 when Chick Webb was on his dying bed. He had a doctor named Dr. Ralph Jonathan Young. See, at that time, Baltimore was very much segregated. So you had doctors, lawyers, teachers, everybody living in the same neighborhood. Now, on his deathbed, Chick Webb always pledged to provide an outlet for black youth. And he had Dr. Young to promise to him that he would do something. Dr. Young took that And they went to the city of Baltimore. Baltimore said, oh, we can't do it. They went to the YMCA. The YMCA can't do it. Dr. Young then put together a recreation committee, and they raised the money to build Chick Web. It took from 1938 to 1947, because in the interim, what they did was they raised money and put it in war bonds, and after the war, they came out and raised more money. And this is very key, because there was a big fundraiser in 1940 at the 5th Regiment Army. More than 7,000 people attended, including at the 5th Regiment Army.
If I'm not mistaken, the 5th Regiment Army is on Winchester, right?
Absolutely. Like, being a big hall.
Yeah, I know. I know what.
Cross the street from Calvin.
Like, across the street from Calvin. I also went there.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to tell the people, like, this, me, I'm a history buff. So, this type of history, when you come from, like, you know where you come from and what has happened to, I guess, further or brighten your future, like, come on, people.
Well, again, I mean, you got to hear this piece, because that's where they raised the money. Now, the performers at that particular thing to raise that money, these, you probably don't even know, but Chick Webb has so many friends, they brought them into Baltimore to give a fundraiser. That fundraiser included folks like Jackie Moms Mabley, include the Nicholas brothers, Cab Calloway. See, all these are black, nationally known folks.
Hold on.
Joe Lewis.
Nationally known from where? Where? Where they from?
They from all over. But again, it was mostly
where they come to.
New
Where did they come to?
They came to Baltimore.
Where they come to?
They came to Baltimore.
Baltimore.
And they came because they wanted to memorialize Chick Webb, the most famous drummer in the country, probably in the world.
Chick Webb, most famous drummer in the
world,
possibly in the world during this time.
Shoot.
And he is born and raised
right
here East Baltimore.
In East Baltimore, on Ashton Avenue. Anyway, that's what happened. They raised that money. Ella Fitzgerald, the Nicholas brothers, the Ink Spots, some of these people you may not even know of, but that was renowned.
All of those names.
So again, being Chick Webb has been around more than 70 years, because it was built in 1947. The committee built the first leg of Chick Webb. The city of Baltimore came in 1949 when they added the swimming pool. And the swimming pool was added, and it was the first swimming pool that Dunbar High School could use. And I tell you, I talked to this guy, and he was talking about the desegregation. We couldn't even go to Drew Hill Park. We couldn't even go to Clifton Park. But they built that rec center right here in East Baltimore. Now, a couple years ago, because of all this transformational community, if you're familiar with Somerset projects, they got a proposal out to redevelop Somerset Old Town, and now it's also Perkins. So then the whole transformation, it's going to be a whole transformational community. More than probably, it's going to be businesses, offices, and more residential. Maybe 2,000 or so. So again, what you're going to have there, just right across the street from Chick Webb, is this whole transformational community.
Right.
And the other part is, right up the street, you have the Johns Hopkins complex. You have Jonestown Historic District just south of there. You have the Reginald Lewis Museum. You have the Great Blacks in Wax. You have the transformational community, what they call the East Baltimore EBDI, East Baltimore up by Hopkins, up off of Wolf Street. You know, all that's transformational too, for mixed income. So now we're in the position now to talk to the city about renovating, expanding, and improving the Chick Webb Center. That's what that's what I'm working on right now, so that it will be a transformational center that will probably, that we would like to be looked at as a aquatic center that could accommodate national competitions. You see, it's a huge opportunity for Baltimore City to make that aquatic center, and probably looking at whatever might be a music hall or something like that, where we can talk about the folks who initially participated in developing the Chick Webb Rec Center.
That's what I'm glad you said that, because that's what I was about to go back to. Because I'm not originally from East Baltimore, but I saw a lot of East Baltimore development due to my family living there.
Okay.
So everything that you just talking upon, I know. So with knowing that, right, like you said, everybody moving out of the community,
yes,
it's going to bring that diverse,
right,
that diversity to the community.
Right.
It's great.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
But this is my problem. Like you said at the end, and I'm glad you said that. Those people that was in the community all that time when Chick Webb was nothing but basic like black type of threshold for our young brothers to leave the streets.
That's right.
Or get away from the streets.
That's right.
I feel like this is my own personal opinion.
Okay, give it to me.
That still should be first hand.
Hello.
Right. You're right.
That still should be first hand. That should be the number one.
See.
The number one, I would say, I wouldn't even say subject or topic for the Chick Webb thing. I'm just saying that should just, like, we have to change our mindset.
Absolutely.
We have to change our.
But also we have to look at, although we talk about the youth, what we have to look for in this transition is the demographics that's around the community as well.
Yeah.
We talk so much about the youth, but you have senior people living longer as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
A health and wellness center, because there you have about 3 or 4 senior housing places a half a block away.
Right.
3 or 4, you said it exactly right.
Monument East, Waters Towers, that's right on Caroline.
Mm-hmm.
See, so as the city now, as we begin to have conversations about how we want the transformation of Chick Webb to be, we have to look at the change, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The change as far how are we going to accommodate the legendary residents as well as the
new ones, right?
As well as the new.
Right.
It's a huge, not only recreation, but it's a huge opportunity for economics in Baltimore.
Right.
Just imagine creating a aquatic center that will attract national competition, as well as us accommodating the legendary residents, the businesses
in the
area,
right.
and the transformational community.
Right.
You see, so we're in these meetings now.
It makes sense.
We're in these meetings now with the city of Baltimore to talk about what Chick Webb should look like in the future.
Okay.
So, and for those who want to get involved, they can call Ms. Kate Bauer, and she's at the Department of Recreation and Parks.
I'm gonna put her number in.
Yeah, it's Kate Bauer. 410-396-0807.
410-396-0807.
Right. So we have work group meetings and we have public meetings where they always talk about community input. You see, but sometimes we have to raise the level of a vision.
Yes.
Especially for our local residents.
Yeah.
Right.
Because not
awareness,
folks, but when you look at Pleasant View Garden and Douglas Homes, and people got some real issues that they deal with every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you bring these folks into a meeting and say, they might minimize the opportunity that you have rather than broadening the opportunity that we have.
You have to notice what's been put around our people. Like, I was riding past Latrobe.
Okay,
right?
all right, come on.
And my brother said, bro, like, if you get a bid, could you really see yourself coming home to that? And I thought about it. I said, it's so wicked because if I ever did a bid, right, and I got to come home to project living, what is the difference? What's the difference?
None really.
You tell me the only difference is I can really go outside now. If I choose to. But with me going outside, everything that lies within this parallels of the projects is the same thing that lies kind of
in jail.
Prison.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
How can you expect me to do different? And I come from this situation, I come from one box, a smaller box, to a bigger, smaller box.
Pretty much.
To kind of look at it now, since I'm older than you all, I know the history of Latrobe. I couldn't even cross Asquith Street.
Hold it for us.
We gotta go to a break, y'all. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. It's getting heated, baby.
This is a Poverty ENT exclusive. Next stop, Texaco. Strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go. Chose by another nigga, bitch, damn. This chopper got 50 round clip. So this Molly and the syrup got me geeking, shorty. Ain't know I popped them Xannies, had them sleeping on me. Love in a hood full of hate. Pray to God that he open up them gates. Rest in peace to Freddie Gray and Lil School.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. So no matter what you up to, just go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, it's cause my father dead. Mom bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen it's less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all the homies head. I could wait for your response, but they let her hear me talk, so I just wait for the applause. I always knew that I was great, I got them haters so appalled. I'ma make it out the darkness, and my word is my bond.
I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
You know what I think, when folks find out the capacity of the folks who was involved with the development of Chick Web, that's as big as the Martin Luther King Cultural Center. Because all of these folks was monumental musicians that built this recreation center, 1947.
If people don't know, like I have told people on the show before, our city, one of our sayings is, we are known for the first.
Yeah.
We're the first to do a lot of things. We're the first city to have streetlights. We're the first to do a lot of things. We don't feel like, I know y'all at home, y'all be like, damn, I was in Baltimore and I feel like we were the first to do this and the first to do that. No, we really are. A lot of people really come here and steal what they see and steal what they learn, and they go elsewhere and do it, and now they're notarized for it. But they don't tell you they got it from Baltimore, Maryland.
Listen, see, you have to understand something here. And again, it's a historical thing.
Say it again.
It's historical. Where was the slave shipping at, yo?
Oh my God, don't go there.
Don't you? Oh yes.
Go there.
Yeah. You had the port of Baltimore.
The port.
Where? East Baltimore.
Yep.
East Baltimore.
Yep. So when you go down there with the called Canton and Belt and all that right now, no, that's but the waterfront was there. So even if you go in historically, when you go and you find the most free blacks during the 1700s,
they ran with
were here in Baltimore. See, you had the railroad starting here in Baltimore, B&O and all of that kind of stuff. You got to understand where you were in regard to the founding of America.
Yeah.
So when you look at the ports of Philadelphia and Baltimore and Norfolk, it was three main ports.
I mean, they say Frederick Douglass got his own high school here. I mean, when I was younger, I already knew like, oh, he had to come here and do something.
Oh, Frederick.
For him to have his own high school here, he had to be here.
He lived
free
here.
niggas. He had to be here teaching niggas how to live. He had to be here teaching niggas how to read. It had to be here. It had to be here before he moved up top.
Look, we just celebrated the 4th of July, right? Did you listen?
I celebrate.
Wait a minute, okay. But did you listen to the speech that Frederick Douglass did in 1852 of the meaning of 4th of July? That was all on the internet today. Oh man, he blasted it. He said it wasn't for us. That's what he said. Frederick Douglass, who he was a Maryland slave, and he came across from the Eastern Shore and he came up over here. And this way he settled that pretty much. Down in Baltimore.
What are you talking about?
They were?
It wasn't for us. It wasn't.
Look, what's that boy name? James Earl Jones did the reading of his speech, which is an anti-slavery group that he did a speech for in 1852. And he said he didn't even know why y'all called me here today to talk about independence. When my people weren't independent, were slaves.
They were not. They were not.
If you haven't heard it, go on the internet and you'll find that speech because it just blew up today. And see, another thing, y'all, I'm gonna share this too. See, there's another thing that we celebrate, Juneteenth. Did you just
celebrate that either?
Why not?
Because, alright, this is what I learned. Like
Wait,
I just
talk to me.
Like I just told the sister going out the door, I said, go on YouTube, right?
Right.
It's like a documentary on the last slave that was in the United States of America. Just like how they do a census, they went around and did a census basically on the last slaves in America, right? And one of the guy's statements or contestment was, he said he felt like July 4th should have been on June 4th.
No, let me tell you.
No, I'm gonna tell you why he said that. I know you got your facts. He said he didn't learn he was free until June the 4th. So he felt like I could have been free days before.
Let me share this.
But they possibly didn't tell me.
Let me share.
And I didn't know until June the 4th. That was the date I learned from him.
If one should read the Emancipation Proclamation, 1862, what Lincoln did and what they taught us in school, oh, Lincoln freed the slaves. No, he didn't. What Lincoln did, he freed the slaves in the states of rebellion.
Right.
Yes.
So Maryland, New Jersey, and all the rest of them, they weren't in rebellion, and it wasn't done for humanitarian reasons. It was done purely for economics.
For economics, right.
So here we go to Juneteenth, getting back to that subject. 2.5 years later, after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, only freed the slaves in the states of rebellion. In Galveston, Texas, they didn't find out until 2.5 years later. That's a Texas holiday. That ain't a national holiday.
Right. In-house.
You see, and we going around celebrating Juneteenth.
So therefore, if you don't know what my man just said, what he just said was, we were free a whole 2 years prior to them telling us we were free. So that means July the 4th is nothing but a lie, because they had to continuously make money and continuously build America off our backs for 2 more years. 2 more years.
I'm going.
While we were free.
Well, the 4th of July, actually 1776, when America broke away from the British, okay?
Yeah.
But again, you had
But
slavery.
see, and
You had slavery all the way up
catch
to...
you off. Go ahead. Finish it.
I'm going to have...
we, you know, we ain't always break away. That was just some bullshit for them to say.
Well, again, you know, I'm just trying to keep it calm.
Yeah,
although
keep it calm.
Although we talk about Black history, you see, American history. See, one thing you can't learn history because one thing when you go through your curriculum in the schools, they only give you the Eurocentric version of history.
And I have to commend my teachers such as Mr. Jones, Mr. Barbie.
Shout out to Mr. Barbie,
Mr.
man.
Waller.
This is your father. Call it me.
Mr. Waller.
Father, more air.
Reason being,
His star 35. Go around the side.
His name Kevin Gross.
Alright, go around the side right there. His star 35.
Proclamation thing about Abraham.
Door.
He was the first teacher ever to, I'm talking, we had a whole, it felt like a month of him telling us. And he just keeps saying, Abraham Lincoln didn't free the slave. What did he say? Abraham Lincoln didn't free the slave. So we like, what, Mr. Gross? Like, what are you talking about?
He said
he bring paperwork. The window. I'm like, oh.
Lincoln said, should I be able to save the Union by freeing one slave? I will do so. If I can save the Union by freeing no slaves, then I will do that. So when you look at the economics, when he freed the slaves in the states of rebellion, they took away the economics of the South because then they weren't working free, whereas the folk continued to raise money and buy whatever. So they took the slaves away, we took the labor away. That's what happened there. See, but then even going back to the Emancipation Proclamation, remember that you still were enslaved in Maryland.
Why are they calling my phone?
In Massachusetts, they weren't in rebellion.
Right.
So you didn't get freedom until the 13th Amendment. Okay. But anyway, okay, so here we are today. Here we are in Baltimore, and we did start off with the Chick Web thing as far as a Black historical piece that goes further than Baltimore City. It actually goes nationally, especially. I mean, Joe Lewis was a part of this fundraiser.
Give him something else. Give him something else. Like I just learned that. See, I just learned that. What's his name? Carter. I'm gonna just say his last name.
George Washington Carter.
Yeah, I just learned. No, not not Carter. What's my man's name? Cause I didn't know he was from Baltimore. I think it's Walter P. Carter.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Because he's not really from Baltimore. Go ahead.
I didn't know he was walking the streets and doing what he was doing for Baltimore City, like how he was doing. It was doing. If I'm not mistaken, is this the same guy I'm thinking about? When it was like, I think we went through a riot time or something like that. Or we went through a time of like depression. We was down. It was Walter P. Carter, right?
Walter P. Carter.
Yeah. He held us down.
Yeah.
He got us back. He got us back. Like, I'm talking about, like, I think it was after the Martin Luther King thing, or it was one. We had a detrimental time, but he had to bring us back.
You have a lot of Black folks that held up Baltimore. A lot of unsung heroes in Baltimore. So it goes beyond the Murphys and the West Baltimore folks. Yeah. It goes beyond those people because you have a lot of people that always participated and did things in Baltimore, especially within our communities. And again, getting back to Ralph Jonathan Young, who was a physician, and he galvanized a lot of other physicians. My physician was Dr. Blake, and he was part of that recreation committee. But to take on this Chick Webb thing, whereas he memorialized them, and it took them 8 years, they put money in war bonds. War bond came back out. City of Baltimore, I'm going to reinstate it. I guess this could be, is this really reparation? Especially when the city of Baltimore did not come to the forefront to satisfy this population here in East Baltimore. Because in 1947, Somerset Homes was built in 1942. That's the segregated, and then Perkins was about, Perkins and that other one, the Troll, they were for white folk, right?
Oh, I know that.
1942.
That's when, See, and another thing people don't know about public housing, it wasn't necessarily built for po-po before, because that was for upcoming folks who was working to go into public housing. So it was
They can work right next
it was
to
a
your
step
job.
up. No, it was for a step up.
Okay.
It wasn't meant for you to have a livelihood or to stay in public housing. But when you kind of look at the institution of public housing, and you know, as far as the organization can grow, it begins to put other elements in place. So then it makes it more entitled. So where we are today in public housing, it's almost like an entitlement to keep you in place. Because,
it's getting deep. It's getting deep. Hold that one. It's getting deep. It's getting deep.
Oh, I don't even talk.
We gotta go to break.
We gotta go to break in about 30 seconds. Take us out to break.
Anyway.
Hey man, we be right back.
Don't go nowhere. Please like and share the show.
It is what it is. We getting real history in here right now.
I don't mean to help.
No, we need this. Let me get my father a chair. He made it.
Check out this snippet from the new season of Talk Lately with Monty about Jennifer Holliday.
Anyway, let's get back to
Yeah, well, what I wanted to say is that I can understand 100% where Jennifer Holliday is coming from, and that's sort of kind of where my 20% came from. When I basically came out and said who I voted for, I received a lot of backlash. Even on my own talk show, which comes on every Monday from 5 to 7 p.m., I was called a coon. Okay, yeah, shout out for the plug. But yeah, someone actually, you know, they told CJ Bernie that I was a coon, and that really hurt me. I've been called everything from a fat whatever and everything, but someone actually commented on his Facebook
I didn't even say that. That's kind of
called
rough.
me a coon, but it's
coon?
like I like you. It's crazy because I just feel like someone like Jennifer Holliday. I understand why she stepped down, but I'm kind of upset with her because I think she still should have performed. You know, if you're gonna jump out there, then stand in your truth. Don't let no one stop you or change your mind about anything. And listen, no one put a gun to her head and made her sign on for that. But it just seems like, you know, she was basically, she was bullied.
But see, the thing about it is they will put a gun to her head to not do it.
I don't think so.
Well, that's what the threat says. You gotta say, it's why it's called a threat. You don't know the hypotheticals in there that could happen to you.
Why do you think
she's not a well-known singer, so she's not going around with security. Since she goes to get her tracks at the mall,
right?
Pow!
Right, but at the same time,
now we got a whole bunch of dead cats.
Yeah, but like what she said in the footage, you know, today on The View was basically it's not white people who was threatening her. It was us who was threatening her.
Right. Where do you think she live? I think she live in Atlanta.
Exactly.
They gonna get her at the Ku Klux Klan mall and drag her by her hair. You know her hair made a cat. She got the new weave.
I don't have Jennifer Holliday money, honey. I don't know what it might be because it's I don't got Jennifer Holliday money, but me personally, I feel as though, you know, like I said, once I kind of came out, and even being on this show, because I'm pretty sure the headline says Trump supporter, I'm putting a lot of myself out there. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Proceed with caution, tired of lane, I'm exhausted. Poppin' Zanny Zan, sipping out the faucet. I'm confused, don't know what I'm doing. Wait, what I'm doing? Got me going where the f I'm going. Out of space, where I'm going. Wait, Outer space where I'm going. Outer space where I'm going. I'll be up in the way. I'll be up in the way.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We are back. Thank you all for still joining us for this history lesson on Chick Webb and the beautiful history of Baltimore. My father, Andre Miles, has joined us for the conversation. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to get to Dr. Wagner. She said, her question is, how are the people within the community responding? Are they on board with the community's transformation process?
I would say that they're on board as best they can. I mean, when you look at the transformation now, well, first of all, Somerset, that transformation has taken place maybe 5-6 years ago. So all of those residents are gone. Okay. So now with the project at Perkins, the Housing Authority is working intimately with the residents there. They're actually doing some screening and stuff like that. Okay. But again, because folks are so caught up in a number of issues, when it comes down to, and again, my priority now is how do we complement the new development with Chick Webb. I have to educate them as far as the whole founding of Chick Webb, how it got started. Because right now they're just looking at their personal needs. But I'm sure that they'll be on board. But again, when we talk about the community, you know, you got that the local community, and then you got the citywide community. So I'm trying to broaden the scope, that this is not just the East Baltimore issue. This is in fact a Baltimore City issue that we can develop nationally. And again, just raising people's level of vision. Because oftentimes in our community years, somehow people are more narrow thinking. They'll try to just say, oh, well, just fix it up. No, it should be larger than that. It should be bigger than that. Right. Especially when we know what the history of how Chick Webb was
Not
built.
only it's the future too.
And absolutely.
The future too. Our kids, they think broader and bigger. Like we think because they might be stuck in Fortnite or certain type of music video or whatever, that their minds are as broad as we think they are. They are. They actually think big, and we need that type of I'm not going to say that, those type of community centers in our communities to help feed those type of broader ways of thinking. You know, it's like, for instance, my son, he loves football, but yet still he told me, Daddy, what if I go to the NFL and I play football for 3 seasons or 6 seasons, and then I start designing video games? I said, son, that is the perfect thing I want you to do.
Right. Yeah.
That's the perfect thing.
Good exposure.
What we have to do, and even some of our principals right now, we always talk about the youth fund. But again, when we look around in this particular community, and you look at the McKim Center, and you look at living classrooms, and you look at the other centers around. So again, we want to complement the development because also we have a middle-aged and senior population.
Right.
So although we pour in money, we got the rec centers open this summer, and we keep talking about the youth. All our major principles are just the kids. The kids got. But
what about
what
about the senior citizens and the middle-aged class?
Absolutely.
I got you.
So this is a huge opportunity to assess where we are, what resources are there, so we don't duplicate services, because McKim is a very good center, and I've been over to living classrooms. They got technology over there for the kids. And then on the recreational side, constructive recreation.
Right.
You go into these centers, now I don't know where the programming is in regard to the recreational outlets. It's more than basketball.
It's more than basketball.
It's more than football.
Definitely.
You know, you go out to the county, and my grandson right now is running track. That's volunteerism. In Baltimore City, you got these recreational aides and all, trying to manage these kids. You see, but visit our recreation centers and see what's going on before we continue to pour money into
it, right?
To these things, talking about the youth program here and a youth. What you're doing constructively.
What is your youth program providing for the
My
youth?
grandchildren, I was living down from John Edgar Howard, and I took them around there to John Edgar Howard to go. You know, their preference was at home doing the computer thing.
Yeah, on the game.
Because the rec center may not have the tools or the outlet that they needed. So are we going to fix these rec centers up with technology where these kids going to also play their whatever Minecraft and all this other kinds of stuff, as well as doing organizational things? And then I would hope, like for Chick Webb, where's the instructional swim? It used to be structured, so you had instructional days by age groups and you had recreational days by age groups. I don't see that.
Right. You need to bring it back.
It's just jump in and play.
And that's it.
No, we want to create some athletes.
Some structure first.
We want to create some athletes that you know are constructive.
Right.
We're losing a sense of order.
True.
Yeah.
Because you want to keep them busy.
Yeah. And it is what it is. So I'm gonna speak how I feel. Right now, I really feel like we lost a whole, if not whole, at least half of a generation of black young children and youth. And I'm talking about from the ages of 16 to about 21, 22. So just that small six-year age gap. Because we are losing them, that make me hold tighter to mine. You understand what I'm saying? So it made me change in the way how they gonna come up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what I know is, like I'm just telling everybody, the change in our community, if you want to say a change in the youth, believe it or not, it's coming. It's coming with.
You speak on that highly.
Highly. It's coming with my son, your daughters, your sons, phone. You feel what I'm saying? They got, if you really look at them, they got a different mindset and way of thinking. They don't really know too much about outside. They trying to chill in the house, under the air, play the video game, the phone. So when it comes time for them to want to go outside, they're going to turn 13, 12. That's when all of them going to be looking at each other like, I never seen you before. I never seen you before. What we going to do out here? Now it's, what can we find to have? Now it's back to what we used to do. What can we find something to do? You know what I mean? Something to have fun. We ain't gonna get in trouble. I know we can do this. We can play nigga knocker. We can run around, play it. That's when all this about to come back. I'm sorry, and I'm sad to say this, that it took a whole generation to damn near go down the drain. Cause that's how I feel. If not the whole generation, half of that generation has went down the drain due to violence, music, this, that, everything influential in their life that's telling them, don't listen to my parents, or don't listen to this person, I'm going to listen to this, I'm going to do this. And they see where it's getting them. Whereas though, me, I'm like, I already know about that. So my child is never going to see that. So Fortnite, I hate it, but shit, I'd rather Fortnite on the game than Fortnite in real life.
Fortnite is more safe than being outside these days.
Yeah.
We gotta go to a break, y'all. We'll be right back.
Be right back. It is what it is, baby.
Yep.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story, adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We are back. For the viewers and listeners out there,
I just want to talk a little bit. Someone talked about Pennsylvania Avenue. See, that goes back to my day. And yes, it was in fact a entertainment center for Baltimore, 40s, 30s, and all this kind of stuff.
I heard.
And even today,
entertainment mecca. Say it right, the entertainment mecca.
Again,
they used to come here to see us perform. They used to come here to perform. Louis Armstrong, all the greats used to come here.
Yeah, we performed there, but when you look at Pennsylvania Avenue, we didn't own anything there. You see, so we can always be the consumers and have the entertainment. But who owned the venues?
Right.
See, so we make this big thing about Pennsylvania Avenue. Yes, it was a historic district, but hell, we never had control of it.
Right.
The only thing we had was consuming.
That's it.
When are we going to recognize that? And even today, that is now listed as a black arts district. Some folks have worked hard. Drew Heights and some other people worked hard for it to become a black arts district. But still, and the opportunity zone. Now, when you look at that, if you don't own none of the real estate there, and folks come in and fix up, you're going to be consuming again. Because you ain't got no ownership
at all.
So we'll come in with the venue and we'll do all of the show stuff. Some folks will make some money, but it's going to go out the neighborhood. It's going to go out of the community because we don't own a thing there. So you have the Art Social, which is the oldest social club, black social club in the city. They're doing, I can understand where they're coming from. But then Mr. Willie Adams had the Spinks Club, right? But when you kind of look at Pennsylvania Avenue, even for the old, what's called it, the Apollo. No, not Apollo, it was called
Cotton Club.
No, Royal.
Yeah.
Let's go back and find out who owned it. You see, that's where the wealth is, gentlemen. The wealth is ownership, not just consuming to come in to do a show.
Right.
Wow, we better wake up. I tell you, really, I would look, and then even before we went west, again, we got to look at the east. A lot of stuff evolved in the east. You had all these brothels and all that stuff in East Baltimore before they moved west. Gay Street, if I look at Gay Street, that was like a little commercial area, but I tell you, if we really wanted the transformation, if folks looked at the old Gay Street, the old Town Mall, imagine, because it's so compressed, Imagine what that would have been versus a long strip of Pennsylvania Avenue. With the whole new transformation at the old Somerset, the whole transformation over here at the EBDI, what they used to call Middle East Community, the whole transformation taking place downtown, and just think if there was a Mecca that came in that little compressed area they call Gay Street. Over again, you know, I'm just whack.
No, I can tell you right now, I was possibly, if not the last generation to, I would say, see what Old Town Mall actually looks like. I'm talking about, I really vividly remember going down Old Town Mall, Shoe City down there, vendors down there that I see in regular malls now.
Yeah.
They were down Old Town Mall. Like I vividly remember. Then that's what I try to tell some of the younger generation. Like when it comes to my generation, like I tell people, we was the last of the essence. Like we saw the last of the essence, and we got the last of the essence. After us, everything started getting knocked down.
What we're not doing
everything else under the sun.
What we're not doing, I think, is not leveraging the resources that we have. Because even one of the city's first rehabilitation program, the Dollar House program, that's right there on Sterling Street, which backs up to Gay Street. And again,
that's what I'm about to say.
And then again, the number 6 firehouse. You see, how do we build on the assets versus trying to create everything new? And I look at, again, get back to the recreation centers, and what they did with C.C. Jackson. My God.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what leverage is up there on Park Heights Avenue? That the city done put that money up there. Oh, I ain't gonna be against the youth up there in the new rec center. But what leverage do you have? They just tore down the daggone houses that were standing up there forever.
Right.
Well, but again, if I come down here to where Chick Web is, how come it's been delayed for so darn long? And you have all the assets to build on it right there.
I'm about to tell you right now.
Talk to me.
Ooh, I got one for you.
Talk to me.
You so quick to knock that down, but you won't knock down Wilkins Avenue. You won't knock that down.
You won't knock that down?
Across the street from a Catholic church.
Right.
Also, it's a lot of Catholic churches that's built around there. Also, Catholic schools.
Then look at the neighborhood, though.
Also, if you don't know, Wilkins Avenue is one of the longest blocks of row houses in America.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when we go to all that small ass, young ass history, because we go to the Catholics and what they do, oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. But if you didn't know, Baltimore City is a Catholic city. Meaning the Archdiocese is right downtown.
Right.
Pope has to come here before he even become the Pope.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
A lot of people don't know how, like, this history in Baltimore. Like,
not gonna get on the religious. No, really, because again, when you look at Baltimore,
it's another angle.
When you look at Baltimore City, again, as far as the whole evolution of ethnic groups that came in, you see, you had the Polish, and you had the Jews, and you had the Germans, and most of these communities, look at them, see where the facilities, the churches are. That's how. That's where they built their communities. They built their communities around it. But I'm not going to get on the Archdiocese. I used to work for them, and out of all these particular religions, when you see the different social programs or whatever, I have to commend the Catholics. I mean, when you had the homeless stuff and the pregnant girls, but then let's look at the Protestants. Let me ask you. What about the Baptists? What educational facility it has? Or the Methodists? No, Morgan State Methodists. Okay. But anyway, we have to look at that. But let's not go into the religious thing. Because where we are today, you all, is not about religion. Preacher said the other day at my uncle's thing about relationships. Because half the people don't even know the formation of the different religions that they're involved in.
Right. We got to go to a break, Uncle Ryan. I'm sorry. We'll be right back, y'all. Don't go nowhere.
Don't go nowhere.
That was
There's a rumor going around that Tyler Perry and Oprah are beefing. Well, let me tell you about this. Tyler, okay, told Oprah, bitch, if you don't have my money, we're going to have a problem. Ooh. Oprah said, what is the problem? Ooh. You said if I don't have your money, there was going to be a problem. So Oprah is standing her ground like, bitch, I'm in charge. You know, you may have a $250 million studio over there that you film all your shows and movies and stuff on, but I have the empire. That's what Oprah said.
Oh, these are her exact words. Allegedly.
I made this up. But
allegedly.
I made it all up. But there was a rumor that they were beefing. But Tyler confirms that they don't have any issues. So it says it was recently reported on the rumors that was swirling that the twosome were on the outs over constructive criticism of a Perry show. Well, I got some constructive criticism, and we can be on the outs, Tyler, and I don't give a damn, because I'm going to make a promo out of this anyway and share it to your page. I need the scenes on Have and Have-Nots to be like 5% shorter, each one. I want you to watch an episode of The Young and the Restless, because this is supposed to be a soap opera.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're back. Yeah, they different things over there. We're back. I'm sorry. You had a question?
No question at all. Just that how the community is involved and what's going on within that community. How are the communities, you know, in Baltimore, and I found this to be very interesting, is that Baltimore is very unique in many ways because you do in fact have community-based organizations. I've worked in several cities around the country and I didn't find that same thing. Now, whatever that they do, many of them lose their focus as far as what their missions are. And we overwork our community volunteers. I find communities are very, very hard-working when they're not funded first. Because once they get funding, they get their directors, what they do is they shove off the responsibility to the director versus them staying involved. You see, you get your little board and then, oh, the director do that. No, if you built that organization and then you got funded, you're supposed to stay involved.
Yeah, stay involved. Don't get lazy.
Once a month meetings that they have, they, you know, they just get disconnected. You do have some good organizations around, but it's important that when they hire somebody, that person not only be an employee, but also, I was a director, I was also a trainer or educator, as well as the one to perform the job. I always educated my board to know what was going on for me to do my work. I don't find that too often in some of these groups now. So you get the communities and the people get very passive and they don't stay connected. And you always find folks with certain interests. You get some global people who understand the whole format of your community, and you get some who are just centered on certain issues. So if it's recreation, they're going to be involved in that. If it's sanitation, they're going to be involved in that. If it's education, that. But you get the few that looks at the whole picture and stay into the involvement
of the whole plan.
You see, so that becomes a very selective body of people that has to stay engaged.
Only I can take from that is, I'm just taking all that right now. Right now I'm just, because it just seemed like God really just put everything like one by one. Like what you just said is detrimental to me, because I've been looking for a way to change my community. But you just told me it takes time. And what you're doing already is already enough. Not saying you're doing a whole lot, but what you're doing already is already enough. Now it's time to take that to the next level, which is finding another platform, or just finding another way just to change the community. Because I'm so.
You see, there's another aspect here. That is, oftentimes folks they turn off people. because one thing they do is say the homeowners, but you also have responsible tenants. So organizations say the homeowner, but then they turn off their people if you're a tenant.
Right.
You see?
Right.
But you have to incorporate it all. And then you have what I call, you have subtle leaders. Everybody ain't got to come to a community meeting, okay? Because Ms. Jones might be working with the Boy Scouts. Mr. Jones might be got a baseball team. He ain't coming to the meetings.
Right.
But that core group have to look at everybody and don't put down people when they don't come to your meeting, because you don't know what Mr. Jones and Mrs. they're doing.
Right.
Because they might be involved in something else and contributing to the community.
Right.
That's the key point of it, is to contribute to the community.
Absolutely.
Everybody's doing something, but everybody don't know what everybody's doing.
That's
right.
See, but and within your community, you should be involved. What's going on? Because that's your investment. See, that's your investment. So everybody just don't know what everyone's doing.
Everybody don't know, and
you don't need to know.
Not really, as long as you're contributing and making a difference, making a change.
Again, it's only going to be a few that know about different kinds of things, and they be sleeping. So another thing is, folks don't come into an issue until it's an issue, become fighting. You see, they all come for that.
Right.
But when it comes down to something, and another thing about community groups is this: oftentimes they lose their advocacy. When you become a service organization, you can't bite the hand that feeds you, so they get passive. So it's important to keep your little block groups going, as well as your community group, for the advocacy and then for the service. Because your service people, they ain't gonna fight no more.
Right, they laid back.
But also, I feel where you come from, 1,000%. I just feel like, opinion-wise, like if you took that time to climb that ladder, and you know where you came from. You came from the bottom. So once you get to the top, why even try to get land, or why even try to let this person or let this organization think that you are just going to downplay your people where you came from? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, what did you do all that for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're there now. Why are you letting them dictate anything?
Right.
You are there because you did what you did. You are there because you stood for your people. You are there because you stood for what you believe in. So why now that when they say, all right, here you go, now you like, oh, y'all, we got to do this to keep this. We got to do this to keep
that's
this.
another part.
No, that's been owed to us.
That's another piece here, because when your certain leaders identify a leader in your neighborhood, that person goes out on their own and do things. But you always got to educate your core group as well, because they're gonna call Ms. Jones. Oh, Ms. Jones gonna raise hell. And then what I noticed also here in Baltimore is we're so parochial. You might have an issue that could be citywide, but a council person will tell you, oh, that's so and so's district. If you take the issue, if you take the issue of the what is that thing called, the Preakness, the criminal code, you take that's a citywide issue. Why the folks only in Park Heights fighting it?
Why?
You see, when in fact it affects the entire economy of the city.
Right.
Because councilman so and so area. Even if I'm doing something over here in the Chickwell, which is District 12. That's councilman so and so's area. When I talk to another council person, that's so and so's area. I say, what? Yes. Let's not be so parochial.
Right.
This is broader than the 12th district.
Right.
This is Baltimore City.
Right.
This is Maryland.
Let's
this
work
is the
together.
whole country.
Right.
So open up your mind and just get involved and know what, because you're going to have some of the issues that just affect certain districts, but you also have the issues that deal with the whole area. So our elected people have to be broad-minded.
Yes, I just commend that, like, wholeheartedly, because I'm a broad-minded person. So when it comes to things of that nature, definitely the community, you have to be broad-minded. You have to think outside the box. You can't stay inside of your community with your thoughts, because that's only going to have. Now you got community rivals, which we already have.
Right.
We're trying to get rid of. So you trying to just make your community good, Now I'm on the outside looking in like, oh, you just trying to make your community good?
Right.
All right, I got something for your community. And that's how things go sometimes. And people don't think like that. People think, oh, I'm just trying to get this right. I'm just trying to do this right. No, just do it. Just do it. It's going to reciprocate. It's going to get to the next person. Like, I know for a fact, when I told Shorty, I said, no. I begged him. I said, please don't take that orange piece off that fake pistol you have. I can't tell you not to have it because I'm not your parent. I can't tell you don't tote it or don't do it. Only I can tell you is, brother,
be careful.
Do not take that orange piece off there. You're 10 years old and they will shoot the shit out you. You take that orange piece off there. And that's straight register. I'm talking about the red like this. Rather me saying, hey brother, come here. You know you're not supposed to have that. You know you're not. No, I say I had to think about it. How can you get to him?
What's your approach? Your approach is very important.
Approach is everything.
It's everything. It's very.
That's how you make a connection. Your approach.
Yeah.
If you go arrogant and aggressive, they're gonna respond in that way.
Yes.
So we have to think of how we're gonna address these young cats out here, or anyone. Really,
that's right.
Especially when we talk about the violence and the drugs in our community. You know, they know who's doing it, but are we going to address those persons that are doing it? No, they're not. They're not going to do that because they put them in danger.
Right.
Back in our day, the drug dealer used to protect this community.
Yep.
You didn't do anything, nothing went down in that community. They protected the community.
Whole community.
Whole community. Nothing wouldn't go down. No.
Now,
time to change.
Somebody from Virginia can come shoot and kill a person from Baltimore City. And the person from Baltimore City gonna say, well, yo, he was beefing with him down in Virginia.
Right.
Oh, brother, he's from Virginia.
Our whole mindset,
it's
attitude.
Yeah, it's screwed up, man. It's totally screwed. And I have to sometimes.
How do we rectify that, though?
It comes with constant and daily repetition of you just saying, I'm gonna make a change.
That's what we have.
Constant and daily repetition.
We have to lift that up.
Yeah,
all that what we know.
Yep.
All that what we know as to what is happening. You have to turn that around.
Yep.
And make the right.
Even though your worst days, even when you know you had a terrible either day or time or whatever moment, at that time when you can make a change, you gotta dig deep. You gotta dig deep. Even if you might have a reaction first, you can always go back. Cause I done did it plenty of times. Like I done told like a few homeless people like, I ain't got it. You know what I mean? And I just back up. And I get in the store and I'm like, no, you don't have it, but you do have an extra dime. You do have an extra nickel to give them. You feel me? So now when I'm coming out the store, it's more so. I'm not more so worried about what you're gonna use it for.
You know,
I'm just gonna give it to you just because you're my brother or my sister.
There is another very critical issue out here. When things happen, somebody might say, "Oh, they're family, they're parenting," but you know, you're not in the parent's back pocket. And I reflect on my own coming up because when I was in the house, my mama thought that my mama was a good boy. They didn't know what I was doing when I was outside. And we got to respect that because I've seen some heavy discipline in homes, but the kid goes out and mess up. The kid goes, but we're quick to say, the parents, you don't know nothing about that house.
Right.
You don't know nothing about that human being and their way of thinking. Let's go that deep. Like you think you know your kid, oh that's my kid. They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. No, they are another human being. They are not you. They have their own conscious mind. You got to recognize that. If you don't recognize that, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Like straight crazy. Because you're gonna be sitting there thinking like, oh, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that?
Yeah, right.
They are not you. I tell people all the time, everybody is different in every different way. I don't care if that's your son. I don't care if that's your daughter. I don't care if y'all teeth alike, y'all eyes alike. They do not think like you. The mind is so broad, it's crazy. So how can you expect someone to think exactly what you think at the time you think?
Nobody's going to think the way you think. Everybody's an individual and think their own way. But The foundation.
That's
The
right.
foundation was laid.
That's right.
Now, when you make that decision,
there you go.
when they make that decision, that's upon them.
That's right.
That's on them. But the foundation was laid.
That's right.
Foundation.
A whole lot of times the foundation is laid. And then unconsciously, consequences come, decisions that an individual make.
Yep.
I was not the good boy.
Yes, sir.
I was
Choice and acceptance.
I will say
Yeah.
some of the, how can I put this? A lot of my decision making, I would think about this man.
Right.
If I do that, would he be bad or, you know, so it's all in the foundation. Like we know right from wrong. Now, we do go through.
But you did something. But you did something anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. We go through we have to go through those trials and tribulations ourselves to learn. Definitely.
You
So
don't have to smell the shit to know it stinks.
true, but we do got to get
smell
out.
something anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's a part of growing up. That's a part of growing up.
At 19, I had to tell my father how detrimental he was in my life at one point in time, because he didn't understand. Him and my mother split up when I was about 11, 12. You feel me? That's the time when a young brother looking nothing but up. I wanted, is he doing that? I think I want to do that. Or he doing it? Oh, I might want to do this. Or I might want to do that too. Between that 10, 13 age, you looking up. You looking up. You also looking at yourself to make yourself, but you also looking up to see like, what do I really want to be like when I become a man? You feel me?
Yeah.
You're looking up, and you're not saying like I want to be just like him, but you're looking up. And so when it was my time, like I told my father, when it was my time to look up, you were not there. So that became pivotal. See, he didn't understand like the age I was and the type of human being I was. I say I was the type of human being and the type of kid. If you put me in something and you believe in me, I'm going to excel to the max. You feel me? I had to tell him like you never really
we
follow
gotta get
through with
past.
something.
We gotta get past that little trickery too in regard to women that raise a lot of men.
True.
And although
but it's not their job.
But the people look.
It's not their job.
When you
It's
look,
not their
when you
job
look
to raise a man.
historically,
I disagree.
I don't
when
care.
when you
I don't
look,
care historically.
well, look,
historically, we are messed up because of that.
No, let's just look at the foundation, son.
Look at the foundation. We're messed up because of the man being taken out of the home. That's what they did at first in slavery. Take the man away from the family.
But you still had men to grow.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
You still had men grow, even under that circumstance.
Nothing like my father.
I don't know about that.
That's
We gotta go to a break.
like my father. Go to a break.
Yo, we will be right back.
It's hot up in here.
My mother was a disciplinarian in my house, but
Yes, her buddy.
White keys only have this bitch jumping.
Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, hold up. Yeah. Rebel up. Let's do it.
If I sit around, I'ma smoke some more. Wasn't even thinking about smoke before, but I'm in my head, I'm in the bed. Don't know who I am, like I'm wearing a mask. Work them old, tell him where the cash. If you wear the cash, tell him where the cash. If you play it for you, gon' run it back. Don't make promises, but I promise that. Don't promise me, cause I ain't into that. Fell in love with that and got hurt from that. That was all over and the curtains back. Can't see you not noticing that. I'm letting it go, it ain't holding me back. Yeah, I'm on dice, but ain't come for the crap. Drinking with uncle, we only do jack. How I'm alive, I thank God for that. Praying about it, things getting better. Open it up with my name on the letter. Why you crazy about it? Saying whatever, you shy to be you. You know you gotta be you. Sometimes I need privacy too. Yeah, you know I ride, and you know you ride for me too. Yeah, you know I. Look, you like getting that hit.
we're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're back. We back. Speak on. I'm gonna say this. You said that not having a father in the household, basically you had resentment towards your dad because of that, right?
Yeah.
All right. And you said you do a lot of going back to the past as far as your coming up.
Yep.
Why would you? I mean, I can understand it being on your mind, but if that's something that hurts you, why keep bringing it up?
Because that's what I learned. When the person I felt like was the rightful teacher, because we got the same type of equipment. When he left my household, he also left my life during a period of time where though it was nothing but, to me, I was nothing but a big ass sponge. So now, instead of learning from you, I gotta learn from my mother. It's not saying it's wrong, but she does not have the same type of equipment I have. So how can we relate but so much? How can she tell me how to get a job as a black man? How can she tell me how to face the police as a black man? It's so many things that a father's supposed to get his son for as a black man, that if you leave him in that shadow, it's so dark. And I'm not gonna lie, it's so dark, and I don't care if he's selling drugs, I don't care if he's playing video games, I don't care if it's dark for him. It's dark because he don't know. And that's like, I will never leave my son with that I don't know, unless it's something that, like, son, you in some shit I don't know about, like some video game shit, some geographic shit, some education I don't know about. But when it comes to this gears of life, I'm right here for you, son. I'm right here by your side.
Yeah, you're supposed to be.
This shit is crazy, man. Like, credit, you gotta teach your kids about all that shit these days. And I'm not saying I'm mad at my father, because he had to learn on his own. You feel what I'm saying? Well, all I'm saying is that father being in the life of a son is pivotal.
It is
very pivotal.
It's pivotal, but
you should to be.
You can't use it as a crutch, though.
I'm not. No, I never use that as a crutch. Cause where I'm at today, right here. Yet and still, I can look at some brothers and say, like, damn, like, I see he ain't have his father none of his life. Like, at least I had my father from this time to this time.
You got some that got their father in their life and they still shitballs. Excuse my language.
Right.
So it's a difference. I mean, you can have a man figure, but he got to do the job too.
Right.
So, I mean, with me, I had two strong parents. Right. With my mother ain't complain. When I was growing up, she was making ends meet, trying to basically take care of me and my brother. Working. What she can do, she can do. Cool. With her, I learned strength. With him, I learned strength, organization, things of that nature. So I just combined them. Like I said, I moved with him towards the 6th grade on, and it was a pivotal part of my life, I will say. But let's say if I didn't make that move, I'm not going to say I'd be in jail or I would have some resentment to him, because our foundation, even though he wasn't in the household, when we come together, it's certain things that we were taught how to be as men. Miles men is ways we was brought up. So it's certain do's and don'ts.
And again, sometimes you can just have family, which is very strong, but also you get these different mentors as far as other men where you begin to emulate. where you begin to extract some of their positive sides for yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bloodline all the time.
No.
It doesn't, see, so there's no idea on the excuses if daddy ain't in the house.
I'm not saying.
Because we have other opportunities
I'm not
as far as
saying
your
it's an
exposure.
But
These are
everybody,
very
like
strong
I said,
women out here.
You're right, you're correct.
Yeah.
But like I just told you, everyone is different in every different way. Every brother will not be as smart and as broad as my mind. Like you said, once my father left, every man I felt as though if I meet you, oh, you got this tendency, I like that, I'm gonna take that from you. I meet you, oh, you got this tendency, I like that, or you act like this, or you talk like this, or I'm gonna steal that from you. And that's what I was doing. All to make sponging, just to make myself, just to create myself.
I was quite amazed as I was coming up. My brother's younger than me and everything. But then oftentimes when I'm coming up, some of his friends say to me, well, Ronnie, you this and Ronnie, you did that. I didn't know that I was influencing some of their lives. I did not know. I get that reinforcement a whole lot later because I'm just out there, whatever. But many of his friends and some other people that I know, they looked at me and I thought I was just whatever. But they looked at me and extracted some of my positive things. You know, it's amazing who you draw from and what you want to. Yes, you said it. You know what you put into yourself. So we can't lay it on one factor.
Piggybacking on you brothers, this too. You know, through my employment, that people say that's just a blame game. When they say they never seen a man, they should see a man every day, upright, straight, doing what is necessary to be done, and is demonstrating as a man. So in that environment, they can't say they never saw a man. They've seen a man every day. But did you ever approach the man, or did you ever, like yourself, pick some notes up? Where you come from, how you get there? I would say demonstration was you can get here just as well as I am. Just pay attention. All right, pay attention. Ask some questions. And if you really want it, go get it. It's not going to come to your door, knock on your door, and say, here I am. You know, just like what you say about your father not being there. Okay, so then we got to go extensively. Outside of that, what was he involved after that? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, after he left the home, was he involved with you after that? So what impact did he play after that? After he left the home, what impact was he? Was he available, or what was the situation?
Impact-wise, and I hopefully he watched. Impact-wise, because we done had a deep discussion about this before. And if he watching, I know he probably gonna get a little sentimental. Impact-wise, he knows, like I told him, I said, when you left me, I felt like, I'm not even gonna say when you left me, but when you left the household, it was during a time where I was an honor roll student. You feel me? I'm talking about, I can remember the time I didn't even fail a class. I just had lower than a grade that was expected of me. And he told me like, what's this? What, you a dummy now? I'm talking about, I ate that shit. I'm talking about I cried a whole night. That next quarter, that shit was 100. You feel what I'm saying? You feel the type of impact my father has on me?
He motivated. Question.
Exactly. You feel me? And it wasn't because to say like I want to do this all for my father. It was that's just the type of that's where he started at. You can't start there and then dip and then now I'm like, what the fuck? You feel what I'm saying? Like I wasn't doing this honor roll for you. You were telling me it was for me, but you left me at the age where I don't understand. You feel me? And you ain't come back and stay in the life where though like, nah, continue to do this, continue to do that. Nah, you were gone. So now everything is like, you feel me? It's like I know what I'm supposed to do for myself.
Well, then you had to uphold that. You have your responsibility. You had the decision making then. You had the decision.
See, you're also right, and yet all that decision making going to now your mother is the leader of the household. So now you gotta get a summer job to pay for stuff that you want for your life. And when your mother asks sometimes, yeah, you gotta give her $150 for the rent or $150 for the gas and electric.
Part of responsibility,
Huh?
I'm gonna
At
say this.
12 and a half years old?
Responsibility. That's true.
At 12 and a half?
Some had to learn early.
I was helping my mother with a mortgage when I was living with my mother.
Man.
And I'm gonna tell you
I wasn't working.
At 12 and a half, my sons are not going to be helping their mom. I don't care if we together or not. They are not going to be helping their mother with.
We gotta go to a break, man. We be right back. Don't go nowhere. We be back. It's
That's
good
what
to
it's
be.
supposed to be. They do not supposed.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature. And I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do. And I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular. It's getting that person money. It's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I mean, because you know that's
the foundation. Again.
Okay, you're back.
We back. I'm just catching. I'm catching a lot of knowledge right now. Yes, sir. I caught a lot first, right? I caught a lot first from the first Miles I met, which is my big bro right here in Calvin Middle School. He definitely kept me back. Where I wanted to be. Definitely kept where I wanted to be. In the honor roll. Yeah, definitely.
That's dude,
yeah. Definitely, definitely.
See, so that's a whole image that you held on to. So that was set an example for you too. See, proof things. See?
So you was getting it from different areas.
And that's what I was just about to say. Like, y'all just let me know how much of what I was doing as a young man was just so right. It's not even for anybody else but myself. Feel me? And that just bring this moment, this right now to like you just now told me, like that taught you responsibility. And I tell all my nephews, my little cousins, my younger cousins that's around my age but younger than me, they tell my nephews like nah, like y'all don't know, your uncle used to have us here. He was only 11. He used to take us to the barber shop. He used to cook for us. He used to what are y'all thinking that? And I'm never like how you just now placed it and said it, and how you just said it is so helpful to me right now because I never looked at it like that. I never looked at it like that. I didn't look at it as a bad thing, but it was also like where did your childhood go, fool? Like, what was you doing as a child then if you was on in that 7, if you was doing this type of stuff? But it was that mind of responsibility. It was that sense of, I'm gonna do for me regardless.
Are you an only child?
Nope, I'm the only son.
You only son. That's the part. Okay. Cause man,
too.
I remember a point in time I couldn't go nowhere without my little brother. Right? Nowhere. And when he died, a friend of mine made it's a picture frame with all our pictures in it, and it was a quote that I saw. He gave me a birthday wish. It was an actual last birthday wish, and I don't know if you remember the last time we had dinner at Nando's, me, Mel, and all that. That was our last time together. But he wrote in this paragraph, he wrote that basically I was his father figure. I showed him his first and all of that, and I didn't even know.
Right.
And so, man, it's like you always got to be mindful of what you do and the approach that you have with people, I think. Oh, we got a comment for you. Ben Bell said, "You're wrong." He said it's up to the individual person. His mother raised 2 boys in the hood, and they turned out okay. Shout out to Ben Bell.
Ben Bell, you are absolutely right. I'm going to tell you why you're right. It's just like my 2 elders just told me, how they're sitting here looking at me and look at what I have accomplished and how much responsibility they heard come out of my mouth. So they basically telling me like, little nigga, shut up. You know what I mean? You're wrong. Look at yourself.
There you go.
Look at yourself. How you gonna say you need a father when you look at yourself and you see where you at right now? So how can you say that? So, Bell, you're absolutely right, man. Not saying I didn't need my guy, my father, because I love him to death. You feel me? Because I definitely need him. Yet and still, I am an individual. I do make my own decisions.
Question.
And I live my own life.
Did you ever have a conversation with your father about what's on your mind?
Yep, I had more than a conversation. We had a real deep. It got deep one day. He was at my sister's house, and he was saying a few things that I couldn't. It wasn't resonating with me. It was like, nah, dude, you ain't know. Like you sit here like it's all hunky dory. Nah, shit ain't hunky dory. Like I was mad for this long. Like you left me this time. During this time, I was this type of student. I was this type of person. And when you left, it fucked me up, and I didn't know how to handle it. So, I tell people I was an honor roll student from kindergarten to 8th grade. To go to Dunbar High School and just be average, it still sometimes kill me thinking about it today. And I gotta think about it as that was my conscious decision. I can't sit there and say, oh, because my father wasn't there, or but yet and still, like I tell my son every day, yo, anytime you get a chance to compete, nigga, compete at your utmost. Because when your father was competing, I'm talking about, if anybody can remember the Miss Pat,
I remember.
I was one of the highest scoring students on the math in the country. You feel me? In the country. I don't even do the Miss Pat no more. In the country. This when I was hearing this in 1st grade. You feel me? So in 1st grade, I was supposed to got skipped. My mother ain't skipped me. You feel me? And I was telling her like, Mom, why you ain't skip me during that time? Like, you don't know what type of individual you was dealing with. Like y'all just said, like, it's past your parents. You're an individual first. And so when I got to thinking about that and thinking about how broad my mind was as a elementary student, like it was crazy, yo. It was crazy. Like I could really remember, I could contest the day they came and got me out of class for that Miss Pat high score. And that was the highest. And I'm talking about like, I'm sitting there like, damn, country. And at this time, 1st grade, I know how many states we got in the country. I know I live in Maryland. I know I live in Baltimore City. I know where I come from. And that, like all this is like, yeah, oh, you smart as shit. So then I just took it and went. Like you ain't on the road on the road. That's nothing. 80s, 85s, and if it's under 80, I'm crying. I'm talking about, ooh, I'm dumb.
Don't you think that the system put too much emphasis on the grade stuff? Because I'll tell you this. Because whatever's on that test, that stuff on the test, but still doesn't measure what else you know.
Right.
You see, so we all become knowledgeable in a whole bunch of different ways. So myself, I don't put a lot of emphasis. My father would tell us, just do the best you can, whatever you do. You know, even if you want to be a shoe shine, you do the best that you can do. So the measurement is all bogus. These damn tests that they didn't give us, when you look into the history of the testing, when you look into that, where did that come from? I understand. You see,
I ain't learned the bogusness till I got to high school.
Okay. But again,
but I was caught up in it when I was in elementary.
But the other piece is, now that you have children and all, you just tell them to do the best that they can. Because all this testing stuff, to me, is that's to me, and personal, is that it's bogus.
Redundant.
Because, I'll tell you, I taught school, okay? And the only ones that failed in my class was those who didn't pay attention. Because I would, the day before the test, I would give them the test on the board. And then come back with the same daggone paperwork the next day. If I had a failure, that was on them. Because why? They didn't pay attention.
Yeah, you gave it to them.
You see? And I'll tell you this. When you go to school, you be teaching you because the teacher facilitates. They give you an assignment, you read that they're textbook, but who be learning it? You be learning it. And then they give you a test or extract information that they want on you. Because you be learning you be learning. I went to college and thought they're going to tell me what to do down here, and next thing you know, I'm 3 or 4 chapters behind because I thought they're going to be telling me something. No, I had to go home and learn that stuff and give it back. See, and that's what we fail to do. You be educating you. You can go and sit on a damn toilet and read medical books and learn to be a doctor without going to medical school. But the whole system then is systematic, and we got people getting paid. You know, I taught some people Spanish. Oh man, over here, they thought I was the best Spanish teacher they had. Why? Because I taught myself that night and gave them what I learned that night the next day. Oh, I was an expert.
Yeah, definitely an expert.
You see, but that's what they do.
My opinion, you definitely expert.
But
if you learn one thing one day, then teach to me the next day.
Because who got the lesson plan, son?
Right.
Who prepared the lesson plan?
Yeah.
So you're supposed to know your material. Yeah, I'm majoring in history, right? Now how in the hell am I supposed to know history? He had to take European history, American history, African, and then I had to take a comprehensive. You know, they do a comprehensive. I don't know if I ever passed the damn thing, but I passed. But one couldn't expect you to learn all of that stuff. You see? So not to distract, but when anyone has a special interest and you study it, you teaching you. You can be as smart as anybody from Stanford or Princeton or whatever. If that's become your passion, you can learn and be smart as them.
That's why Nipsey Hussle got killed,
You what?
That's why Nipsey Hussle got killed.
Oh man.
That's real talk.
Yeah.
Definitely what you said about ownership earlier. He was one of those young brothers that was about to teach a lot of us about ownership, and they could not take that. That would have. He was going to be a big mark in the change of our culture, if you want to say that word.
Yeah.
Period. And I know that because
you ever hear Marcus Garvey?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about him then.
Marcus Garvey. Yeah. What I know, what I took from learning from Marcus Garvey, to me, Marcus Garvey was a dude that ain't take no shit.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Basically, we are the superior, they are the inferior. If y'all don't know that by now, y'all must be tripping. And that's how I felt like he came at with his aspect and how he wanted to come at it.
But the other part of that too, though, is that you had these different organizations. You had the NAACP and you had the Urban League. When you look at those two organizations, they're mostly like socially bound.
Yeah, I say what they comply by.
But then when McGarvey came in and talked about black economics, That's dangerous for these folks. Because he ain't talking about no programs. He wasn't talking about no social program. Because you deal with economics, where you deal with creating your own businesses and stuff like that. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. So we continue to be the consumers because we got billions of dollars. And then we complain out there. I can get a room with folks like myself and they be telling me what they can't do. I'll tell you, if I had 50 brothers, frat brothers or whatever, in a room, we'll have more than $1 million in that damn room.
Yeah. Hold on. Don't say nothing else.
And then we're going to say you ain't got nothing.
Listen, some people don't know what the consumers are. But if you don't know when I'm telling you that we are the consumers, that means we buy everything else everybody makes.
You go out here.
We don't make shit. We don't create nothing. We don't got nothing.
You go out here. I went down to the Bahamas, right? And here we upscale when you buy a Mercedes Benz. You go down there in they damn taxi cab.
They taxis, right?
Taxi cab.
Right.
You go down there in the taxi cab. But you got to get a Benz up here.
The same Mercedes Benz in the US of A is a taxi cab. In the Bahamas.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy. I saw that on a movie and couldn't believe it.
Yeah, you better believe it. You better watch consumption.
You better watch.
You know.
Better watch.
I know I got off script today, but this been some good conversation.
Not off script. We right on script.
We better educate our folks. And I'll tell you another thing is, I guess how many people in here, or they pay themselves first. You all get a damn job. You don't look at the personnel policy. You don't take advantage of whatever benefit they offer you. And then you spend every dime you get rather than putting 10 cents away for every pay. You don't put nothing away. And then you're going to be in debt. But you pay yourself first and then buy whatever else you want after that.
I'm going to say this. You probably don't remember this. You told, I got my McDonald's job. That's the first thing you told.
Well, dude.
Put some money aside. No, this is something that you probably don't know, but you probably heard me say it, but I learned from my father, if you mismanage your money, you mismanage your life. But yeah, he was the first one to tell me.
Finish it, didn't I? You know.
It's going on, okay. There we go.
Nobody hard to keep up with what Ronald Reagan did when he had people to create what they call the individual retirement accounts. You see, that's when you can put money away for your own retirement and you don't have to rely on Social Security. He did that years ago. And if you did not open that own investment account, not savings, I mind you. See, y'all talk savings all the time. God damn it, the only thing you're going to get is 0.3% on your money. But if you begin to pay yourself first, and don't try to single shoot a stock, because I used to teach some kids, I'll go into the classroom and I say, you got Nikes on, they $200, how much is a share? $38 a share. How many shares could you have bought tonight? But no, you can wear the shoe. But if I own some of Nike through a mutual fund, I got part of the company. So then I'm going to buy a Nike. Understand me? But I'm just saying that you have to look outside of those venues, and what they always taught us, they're going to teach you algebra in school, but they ain't going to teach you financial literacy in school. They ain't going to teach you financial literacy, they're going to teach you algebra, and that becomes a requirement for you to go to college. What for?
Yeah, because we ain't going to use it.
Never.
A plus B.
Never.
You're right.
You might. Your paycheck is A plus B times C times X.
But they ain't gonna tell you his expenses, his expenses and his income.
Right.
And I tell you a good game to play. When the people talk about flipping and Monopoly, play Monopoly. You don't play that as a game. You play that as business. Because I will break you every time if you buy Broadway and Park Place, and I buy Connecticut, Baltic, and whatever. I will break you every time. Because then the cost of fixing them houses is more expensive than the ones over here. But I can rent you down. Because Monopoly is a game of real estate, Jimmy.
Yes, sir. We got to go to another break, y'all. We will be right back. I'll be back with a back. Be right back.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. Suicidal, depressed, but you won't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. You feel alone even though the people surround you. Popping pills every night even though you know they can't solve it. The emotional pain, it just seems way too heavy. Your mind is racing, wanna scream, somebody help me. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. These type of people sit right under our noses. We don't find out.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. No matter what you up to, we gotta go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, that's cause my father dead. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen this less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all the homies head.
So, Jacqueline. Yes, Mom? I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Back. For those that missed the earlier part of the show, I was talking about Chick Webb and should I say the resurgence of it, possibly?
You can say that.
Okay. Well, please let the viewers know if they wanted to be a part of this, how they could.
Again, it's a story that had not been told, but here in Baltimore, we have a facility that can be as famous as the Martin Luther King Center, because we had the famous William Chick Webb right here in Baltimore. And on his deathbed, he then wanted something for Negro youth in East Baltimore, whereas Baltimore was quite segregated. And Dr. Ralph Jonathan Young put together a phenomenal organization, and again it was grassroots, that they built the Chick Webb Memorial Recreation Center before the City of Baltimore and YMCA, who had declined to provide such a service to our citizenry in East Baltimore. Really Baltimore, because everything was segregated. You couldn't go to Drew Hill Park, you couldn't go to Clifton Park, you couldn't go to Patterson Park. But anyway, and for those folks who don't know, I mean, when we had Renown, it just wasn't built by the black community, but it was built by people who was nationally known. When we speak of Ella Fitzgerald, and we talk about the heavyweight boxing champ Joe Louis, and the Baltimore Elite Giants, they were the champions of the Negro League. And then we had Ella Fitzgerald, they performed. We had Jackie Mons Mabley perform. We had Nicholas Brothers perform. You had Cab Calloway. You had the Ink Spots. You had Duke and Mercer Ellington and others. They were the initiative behind the Chick Webb Recreation Center being built. Now that we have gotten it designated only 2 years ago as a historic landmark here in Baltimore, it is time now that we talk about the improvement and expansion of the Chick Webb Rec Center so that it would complement the redevelopment of the old Somerset homes, whereas they're going to be building more than 1,000 units over there. And again, it's going to be a very transformational community. So what we need now is to expand the Chick Webb Memorial Recreation Center.
So could you say what the location?
And the location, if you don't know, is at 623 Eden Street, and it's only really a half block from the big Johns Hopkins complex. It's hidden. But what we can do, we can expand this particular center, again, like informing the city, we can expand the city to be a national aquatic center. Baltimore doesn't have such a center. Not Middle Branch. I'm talking about where aquatics began here in Baltimore, especially for our black community. So we're not going to say it's just going to be black, but it can be nationally known in honor of our Chick Webb and Dr. Ralph Jonathan Young, who built this particular center with nationally renowned people. So the city's in conversation now. You can call Miss Kate Bauer with the Department of Recreation and Parks. Yes, she can be reached at 410-396-0807.
0807. I'm putting this in the comments so you all will be able to find this.
Kate Bauer.
Yes,
Kate Bauer.
They'll be having what they call public meetings where they want input from the public.
Okay.
I'm serving on a working group, so we're supposed to then take the information from the public meetings to share at the working group meetings.
Okay.
And I don't know if y'all know, I mean, like I told y'all, I'm sort of a history buff, so I love history. Definitely when it's coming from the same place I was born and raised. So when you tell me guys like Duke Ellington, Mercer Ellington, performed here, if you don't know Duke Ellington, if you haven't looked up your history on Duke Ellington, just look up the name. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So when I was in school and I learned about Duke Ellington, he was the man on the music tip. On the music tip. I believe he played, I don't want to mess it up, I believe he played the trumpet. Am I right?
I believe so.
Bingo. You know what I mean?
Chick Webb was on the drums.
Chick Webb was on the drums.
Ella Fitzgerald was the jazz singer.
Fitzgerald, listen, that name just ring in my ear like it's no
Have
tomorrow.
you seen the dancing of the Nicholas Brothers? Oh man, you talking about tap dancing?
Oh yeah.
Whoa man, they would climb the steps whoa. Yes indeed.
We about to go to break, man. We'll be right back. And we're going to cap it off with some more of this great history of Baltimore. We're just going to cap it off with some more just coming together. Foundation. Starting that foundation and stand strong, Baltimore. You know what it is. It is what it is.
We'll be right back.
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the It Is What It Is radio show.
Viral. Make sure y'all share us. So,
please.
Miss Entice.
All right,
Miss
I got
Vicious.
Okay.
Vicious.
Favorite place to have sex outside the bedroom?
Anywhere.
Oh. That's not an answer.
That's not an answer?
Specific. Outside of the bedroom.
You mean where have I?
No. Like where's the spot you like to have sex outside of the bedroom?
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not a forced fucker, so I'd rather be in behind closed doors, but I've had sex.
I mean,
outside.
you still can keep it, under.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
This is the last segment. And before we get out of here, Uncle Ronnie, can you let the people know one more time how they could participate in this?
Okay, there is a number of ways to participate. Now, if you want to participate with me directly, we have what we call the RJY Chick Web Council Incorporated. It's a 501c3 nonprofit corporation. I can be reached at 443-413-0768. But you could email me.
Put your email. I'll do that. I'll put the email in.
At rjychickweb@gmail.
Okay, chick.
rjychickweb@gmail. I definitely will respond to your email, and I tell you, I got a core group that I strategize before I meet with the city.
Okay.
So you want to get involved because I want all of my people to be educated in regard to what we are working towards and what we're working for, and won't get into a him-ha conversation at these particular public meetings.
Right.
But we got to be very firm as to what the vision is for the improvement and expansion of the Chick Webb Memorial Recreation Center. And no diversion, because professional planners have a tendency of diverting your vision. So we want to be sure that we'll go in sounding the same voice at the same concern and the same wants. So it's time for equity, because when you look at the redevelopment of C.C. Jackson in Park Heights, we look at the redevelopment of Rita Church in Clifton Park, we look at the Middle Branch, but again, Chick Webb came long before those. He came before all of those, and there's been disinvestment rather than investment.
Okay.
Chick Webb.
I thank you all for coming. This was definitely a great show. For the listeners and viewers, please share the show and take this information and share it with someone that could possibly help with this great cause. Till next week, I'm Fly T Miles. Got my dad, Andre Miles. Got my uncle, Ronnie Miles. It's kind of a Miles takeover, brother.
It's all good. It's all, hey, man, I'm chilling with the Miles clan tonight.
See y'all next week. Miles clan. We out.
It's the jump off. Welcome to the show, Underwood Show. Hot topics. We discussing anything. It's a go. We going live now. Got a song calling to the show. Is he ready? Yep. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Sound like we're ready.